Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, there is unbelievable reports coming in here. Not unbelievable, because really we knew this. You know that Vladimir Putin and Russia has a very strong relationship with Iran. And also President Assad of Syria and Hezbollah gets their weapons from Assad of Syria and from the Iranians. And now we have reports claim that Hezbollah is getting weapons from Russia as well. Now, then Hezbollah says they will not hesitate to use these weapons that they're acquiring. The second-ranking Hezbollah commander attested to the fact that the Russian army is supplying their organization with advanced weapons. In an interview with the Daily Beast, the commander discussed the close relationship between Moscow and the Hezbollah headquarters in Beirut, Lebanon. Both commanders claim that Hezbollah won't hesitate to use the weapons against Israel. When it comes to Israel, Hezbollah doesn't take directions from anyone, said one of the commanders in the interview. The commanders have stated that Hezbollah receives advanced missiles, laser-guided rockets, and anti-tank weapons directly from the Russian army. We are strategic allies in the Middle East right now. The Russians are our allies, and they give us weapons, said Hezbollah officials. Well, I'm not shocked by this. Matter of fact, I've been reporting this for, 3-4 years? I understand what Vladimir Putin is doing. He is establishing preeminence. He is establishing dominance in the Middle East. The United States, under the 7 years of the Obama administration, the United States has totally surrendered supremacy in the Middle East. You know, the United States have been supplying weapons to Egypt for 30 years after the peace accord that Jimmy Carter and Anwar Sadat, the president of Egypt, and Menachem Begin of Israel signed back in 1979. The United States has supplied Egypt with $1.4 billion worth of military equipment every year. The United States has also supplied Saudi Arabia with a ton of jets and military supplies. You know, the United States certainly have built up Israel, and the United States is involved with other relationships. So it shouldn't shock us that Russia would be involved with some other groups. And they have certainly locked arms with the Iranians and Assad and Syria and Hezbollah, who is, you know, they're right there. They're in southern Lebanon. They're just over the Israeli border. This shouldn't shock anybody, because actually, when you look at Bible prophecy, you know that the Russians team up with the Persians, and they get other groups to go along with them in the great battle that will come one day in Gog and Magog. And we also know that this proxy war being played out right now in Syria is really between now three forces: the United States and their allies, which are the British, the French, and the Free Syrian Army in the region, and the Saudi Arabians, if you will. And then you have Turkey. Turkey is allies is ISIS, to be quite honest with you. They're teaming up with ISIS and hating on the Kurds. And then, of course, you have the Russians, who are teaming up with Assad. They're teaming up with Hezbollah, Iran, and then there's Israel sitting there saying, okay, these are three different teams. Everybody's being divided. What about Al-Qaeda? What about Al-Nusra? How does this all work? So don't be shocked by what's going on. I see a total shift, and I've been saying this. The moment that general, the Russian general, walked into a U.S. embassy and said, you have 1 hour, tell the president of the United States, you have 1 hour to get your planes out of the skies of Syria. Russia took over the Middle East. It happened in 1 hour. And since then, Russia has set up a military bases, air forces. They brought in tanks, armored vehicles, rocket launchers. Now they have their S-400 defense system. They have unbelievable amount of troops. They have thousands of troops as well as the Iranians have troops. There is aircraft. They control the airways. They literally have a no-fly zone unless you're pre-approved. This is all going on right now. So don't be shocked by the fact that the Russians are supplying Hezbollah with better sophisticated weaponry just north of the Israeli border. Something biblical is going on here with the signs of the second coming of Christ. It's getting very precarious. We are living in the last days. Give your life to Jesus Christ. Don't be left behind, please.